hybrid calling for Webex devices to provide a hybrid call functionality for rooms, desktop, and Webex board devices that are added to workspace in Control Hub. Webex devices that are registered to crowds, and when they are enabled with, they also connected to enterprise. Webex devices in the workspace become a part of my existing on-premises DAC plan, allowing these devices to call user extensions or PSTN and receive incoming calls. Although the devices in a workspace are registered to clouds, I can provide them with a line or PSTN service that is served through my CUCM deployment. People can call these devices to join a meeting. People can also use this device to dial other extension or numbers. This is called directly from device. And from Webex, user can also call numbers that are connected to a cloud registered Webex device that is enabled for hybrid calling. They can call someone's mobile number or local pizza place directly from Webex and have call take place on Webex device. This is a call from Webex to work connected to the device. So this diagram shows that the on-premises and cloud components that comprise the hybrid calling for Webex device architecture. This architecture provides call connectivity to Webex cloud registered devices in the workplace, and the call is called Control Hub, so that the device can use the CUCM DAC plan. You manually synchronize configuration between premises and clouds by running a sync in the Webex device connector software. Domain verification is essential to security and integrity of my organization. Verification proves that to us that you own a particular domain and is required for some services to work, such as hybrid calling. Configuring hybrid calling for Cisco Webex devices in Cisco Webex Control Hub. I will begin this initial setup in Cisco Webex Control Hub. This includes the specifying desires the site name for your company to create SIP addresses for all users, enable hybrid calling, and then specify SIP destination to point to my Webex Expressway with mature TLS. In this step, we have a working Expressway-C and E pair that handle B2B and RMA. There is also requirement for DNS SRV records that point to SIP mutual TLS port on my Expressway-E server. The SRV has been pre-configured for me and is publicly available on internet for my session. In the organizational setting, let's scroll to SIP address for Cisco Webex calling section to see Webex Control Hub configuration. As I can see, the prefix for my SIP domain is displayed, and this was configured for me already during the base setup. In this step, I have used the domain assigned to my session. The lab had my shortened make easier to dial user. After it is configured, the platform will create real SIP address and DNS records that are reachable on internet. If my company has multiple domains, add each domain one at a time. For example, if I have users in sales.example.com and in support.example.com, I must add both domains. If my organization forces the email address I am present with warning about the possible user lockout, I am forced to verify and remove domains in a particular order to prevent domain administrator lockout. When adding a domain, for example, I must add administrator domain first, followed by all other domains. For every domain that I add, I receive a verification token that I must add to my DNS-TXT record. If I add multiple domain and therefore receive multiple tokens, I recommend that I recommend to keep each domain in a separate DNS-TXT record. If that is not possible, for example, if my private domain does not support more than one DNS-TXT record, or you can only edit SPF or customer records, so we have to open a Cisco TAC case for manual verification. So when adding a verification token to DNS-TXT records, I recommend two things. One, we're going to insert token as a separate line at the beginning of my DNS-TXT record, and our enter token with the following with the prefix is Cisco CI domain verification equals token. This is a unique identifier that helps me with search function in the future and distinguishes Cisco verification token from other information presented in my DNS-TXT record. In this lab, DNS-TXT record has already been created, and the domain verification should have been pre-configured. So in the organization setting page above SIP address for Cisco Webex calling, there's a domain section. Domain was pre-configured and verified. Okay. Let's now configure call feature to connect SIP destination. Back to the control hub services, allows to select the hybrid. Click the setup on the hybrid calling for Webex devices cards and click enable. So in the SIP destination box that show us after turning the services on, we're going to enter, since we call it mtls domain, and click save, test, save. This now points to the DNS SLV record that was created for my session. So this is the _sips _tcp mtls and the domain. So while I am on this page, so we'll see some settings that are available. We're going to scroll down to the bottom of the SIP destination setting section. I will see I have option to upload my own self-signed certificate. Let's go back. The SIP trunk between Expressway-C and Unified Call Manager must send the caller ID, and the caller ID for any user who are entitled to for call hybrid calling must be blocked at the originating cluster and anywhere in the call path, such as on inter-cluster trunks. Cisco Webex call Control Hub does not support caller ID masking. If a caller ID is blocked, user might experience problems during call, and such as seeing a guest caller ID when they are actually talking to a colleague. To avoid this problem, so beware of this high-level configuration, right? On the system, let's navigate to Enterprise Parameters. And we're going to search fully. In the fully qualified domain name, and this will bring me to a new domain. Okay, so it's already be executing command manager 1. Leave the car executing in the box and enter the sessions domain. Right, I'll show you how to do that. Give it space, and remember we're gonna choose specific domain information right here. The domain name that I'm using for Webex must be the first in the list. First in the list, the Cisco Webex call control. Use the first entry and ignore any other ones. Okay. So for that, and let's click save. We're going to navigate to device and device setting, and we're going to navigate to SIP profile. Let's copy standard SIP profile Cisco VCS. And we're going to change the name. Change the name to standard SIP profile for Cisco Webex hybrid call. Change the description if I would like to do that, and okay. And towards the bottom of the page, for earlier offer supports for voice and video call setting, in the trunk specific configuration section, I'm going to choose the best of efforts, no MTP insert. Earlier offer for support voice and video call. Okay, going to best offer, no MTP inserted. Click save. So because the lab has existing Expressway-C and E pair that runs MRA and B2B, I will need to create a separate SIP trunk security profile that use different ports. The C and E currently use 5560. It recommended to use 5561 for hybrid service. Okay, now we'll go to system. We're gonna find the security and SIP trunk security profile. Let's click copy icon next to existing profile called non-secure SIP profile. Let's change the name, non-SIP trunk profile for Webex hybrid call, and also the description as well. And we're gonna change incoming port to 5561, and click save. That's now it's 55. Add it to it. Now navigate to device, and we go to trunk. I'm going to add a new trunk. The trunk type will be SIP. And click next. Trunk name, we're going to choose a Webex hybrid call. Device port, we're gonna make a DP. Go ahead, navigate to inbound call. Inbound call CSS, call everyone. Outbound call. We're gonna find a calling and the connected party info format. This one gonna be delete DN and URL in connected party if available. SIP information here, we're going to enter the Expressway-C. This is existing Expressway-C used for B2B and MRA. Next, we're going to SIP trunk security profile. In here, we're going to pick non-secure SIP trunk profile for Webex hybrid call. And SIP profile, we're going to use standard SIP profile for Cisco Webex hybrid call. Let's click save. Now click reset and reset, close. Let's now navigate to call routing and SIP route pattern. We're going to add a new one. The new one is going to be SIP domain routing, and we're going to enter IPv4 pattern start door rooms webex.com, and description here will say routing to Cisco Webex. The SIP trunk we're going to use is the Webex hybrid call. Click save. In Expressway-E for hybrid call service, enterprise calls are routed over Expressway-C and E pair. This lab, I will modify these Expressway servers to support hybrid calling. In the lab, this pair is currently fully functional to support MRA and B2B, so some of the configured traversal zones already exist. I will modify these existing traversal configuration as well as create a new configuration to support hybrid calling. First, navigate to configuration and protocol. The protocol is looking for SIP. For mutual TLS mode, I will select your own in the drop-down menu. And we're going to click save. Let's navigate to configuration and zones. Let's click the default zone. Since this is existing Expressway-E server, I needed to set enable mutual TLS on default zone to off. This is currently the default setting, so there's nothing to configure. However, if there were a new Expressway-E server dedicated to hybrid calling, this setting would need to be changed to on. At this point, I needed to create a new DNS zone that allows my Expressway-E server to identify and route calls between Cisco Call Manager and Cisco Webex Control Hub. So on the Expressway-E server, let's navigate to zone and zones. This lab, the Expressway are at a version X to the 8.11 plus. In earlier version, this zone is not available to be configured, so regular DNS zone must be used. So let's go to create a new zone. The name is to be Transversal Server to Webex Hybrid Call. Create a dedicated transversal zone on Expressway-E. Low Cisco Webex traffic can coexist on same transversal zone on MRA or B2B. We recommend they create a dedicated transversal server zone on Expressway-E. It's specifically for handling hybrid call signaling and media. That way, any settings for B2B or MRA won't affect Cisco Webex traffic on the vice versa. Let's configure the type. Type will be transversal server, and the connection credential we're going to use is Cisco. We don't use it Edge 323. Set port, we're going to use the 7005. TLS mode. Valid for information modes on. We're going to use VXLAN. And zip media encryption. Will be falsely encrypted. Want to make sure it's encrypted. And preload zip browser support. It's gonna be on. Zip parameter preservation gonna be on, and we're gonna do credit zone. Now we have one rule for transversal server beside the B2B. Okay. Now we're going to create the two search rules that will perform identifying calls from Webex control hub and route them through the transversal zone to Expressway-C, and then we're going to identify calls from Cisco call manager and route them through the default zone to Cisco Webex control hub. So to do that, we're going to go to configuration, and we're going to do dial plan. Dial plan, we're going to do a search rule as create a new. Let's configure the rule name. Inbound Webex hybrid call. Description is a route traffic from Webex to Express-C, and priority will make it 99. Protocol is using SIP. Source, we're gonna use named. Source name Webex zone. Is my from my Webex zone for sure. And unsuccessful match stop target, we're doing the same place. Create a loop. Let's change it a little bit. I feel this should be ending. Okay. Anyway, let's create a new zone for outbound. The outbound Webex hybrid call. It's a route traffic for unified CN2 Webex. Same priority. SIP source named now I'm going to match and alias pattern match. It's going to be pattern stream, going to be regex. Put it as pattern. How do I miss this one? Let's save it, create it one more time. I know the source and targets are not correct, but this time I'm going to create a zone called the Webex zone. So Webex zone is going to be configuration and the call policy. Go to new call policy. We're going to source type zone for the Webex. That. And let's find the zone rule and change to up a little bit. Okay. Configuring Cisco Expressway-C for hybrid calling. Next, I will configure other sides of Cisco C and E pair to support hybrid calling. Just like Expressway-E server I modified earlier, I will modify an existing configure as well, make new configurations. Just like the zones on Expressway-E server, it's recommended to create a dedicated traversal zone for Cisco Webex on Expressway-C. Now let's configure C, and we're going to zone, and we're going to create a new zone. The new zone, we're going to put a name traversal client for Webex hybrid call. And it will be a traversal client, username Cisco. We're I'm going to disable 323, set port 05, verification on. I'm going to deny accept proxy registration. Media encryption mode, we're going to use this forced encrypted. And the preload SIP support, we're going to say on. SIP parameter preservation, we're going to say on. And we're going to add a peer IP address. Before that, authentication, we're going to check credentials. Let's create a zone. Now we're going to create a neighbor zone for each unified call manager cluster. I will now create a zone to CUCM cluster to which I wanted to route. Each zone can accommodate 6 peer addresses which support Cisco CUCM cluster with 6 nodes. The Cisco CUCM cluster to which its zone will route must be a home cluster. It cannot be SME or other intermediate route agent. The exact port to use each zone depends on the SIP trunk security profile configured CUCM. Because I have B2B and I'm configured on these expressways, it is recommended to use a different port so the new configuration does not interfere with my existing setup. The port 5062 is what is recommended, but any port can be used. This lab I will be using 5561 as I configured earlier on SIP trunk security profile. I will not refuse any existing neighbor zones to CUCM for Jabber MIA. So in here, I'll create a new zone. The zone name, we're going to name it UCM neighbor for Webex hybrid call. The type, we're going to be a neighbor. We're closed at 323. SIP port 5561. And we use TCP. Preload SIP routes transport support will be on. AES GCM support gonna be on. And the peer 1 address, we're gonna say CUCM1. And in the advanced, we want to say custom. Call signal route modes be always. And SIP parameter preservation, we want to put on. Then create zone. Now we'll have a zone now, and it's called CUCM neighbor for Webex hybrid call. Then now I will create 2 search rules as I did on Expressway-E to route traffic between CUCM and the crowd. Let's go configuration, dial plan. Dial plan here, we're going to search rule. Let's create a new rule. It's going to be inbound Webex hybrid call. Okay, there's a route traffic from Expressway-E to unified CM. 99 SIP, we're gonna use named here. Source name we're gonna use is the traversal clients for Webex hybrid call. and we'll want to stop here and go to UCM. That's great. Search rule. Next, create another rule. The new name is outbound Webex hybrid call. It's going to be route traffic from unified CM to Webex. Okay, and still 99 zip, and it's named source. We're going to routes for you, of course, this UCM hybrid, and mode we're going to choose alias with pattern match. You're going to use the regular expression, and this regular expression we already have this. After that, we're going to leave, and we'll stop, and we're going to route it to the traversal client Webex. Okay, great. The following points will come functions. We'll have a hybrid call services for Webex devices. We'll create and use Cisco Webex remote device. Is on-premises UCM to route the call to enterprise extension users and PSTN, and features from on-premises phones such as hold, transfer, conference can include Cisco Webex device. So any call from Webex spaces to workspaces to PSTN or on-premises extensions that are anchored to Cisco Webex RD in Unified CM. So now we're going to choose UCM, and the call routing, give a DM. That's fine, add a new. Here we're gonna use base partition. Hybrid device. Okay. Calling search space, we call everyone. That's it. Then we're gonna go to directory URI. In here, we're gonna to HDVIC. Without that, my domain. Okay, my domain, and don't forget the base PT to my URI, and click save. After that, let's go to user. We're going to create a user. Username, H device. Password. Last name. We'll use device. Hybrid. And direct URI, add device, telephone number, mail ID. Spark RD for Cisco Webex device with hybrid call service. Now go to device and go to phone. We're going to add a new phone. Let's choose a Cisco Spark remote device. Click Next. Let's configure the Spark RD. The owner ID will be my edge device. Device name should be Spark RD device. Device pool, we'll use dcrouch DP. Now we're sending a call, everyone. Now let's click line 1 and we're gonna enter 7800 partition, pick a base BT. At the bottom of the page, let's click associate user. Make edge device. Let's scroll down to device information and we'll click device associate. Right here, I'm going to find associate device. It's checked and selected. Let's go to the user once again. Run edge device. Scroll down. We're going to find the primary extension. It's not selected. Let me see if we can associate. Associate, back to user, and let me see, we can select the prime user extension right here. Click save. Now let's go back to Control Hub. We're going to update workspace for hybrid calling.
Hey everyone, NetMaven here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to dive into the world of amazing network technologies with me, and please feel free to leave your comments below. Hey everyone, NetMaven here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to dive into the world of amazing network technologies with me, and please feel free to leave your comments below.